Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a family demands change after a DeWitt County jail death, the allegations they're making.
An incident at Goliad High School sparks bigger questions about student safety. The parents push for accountability.
And Congressman Cloud honors one of our own in Washington, the local figure known by generations.
We began with a light rain today. Tomorrow it'll get heavier. As a matter of fact, tonight we're getting some heavy stuff up in Matagorda County. So we'll be talking about floppy kind of Thursday coming up in just a moment.
And the St. Joseph Flyers football team revealed their all-district awards from this past season. And find out some of the top honors later in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Shawna Currie.
And I'm Brubaker. The injury to a Goliad High School student has her parents up in arms about the district's response.
According to a friend of the family, this incident may not be unique to the district. They're airing their grievances. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting spoke with the family and shares their story.
He is a human, not a number.
This family is seeking answers after their daughter Trinity was injured by a car in the Goliad High School parking lot by another student.
Definitely shouting, telling her to move back so I can have enough space to move. By the third time she moves up, I am unable to turn my body. She is that close to me. She ends up moving up one more time. That time she closes my legs in between my car and her car.
Trinity says she and a host of others had discussions with her cheer coach, which led to discussions with administration from the school and the district.
As a superintendent, I clearly saw that she was not listening to anything I was trying to tell her. She was just completely ignoring me.
The family wasn't satisfied with the school's response, which included a 3-day in-school suspension for the offender and the school board rejecting their grievance.
We voted them in to protect our kids, to take their side, listen to them, protect them. None of them did.
A witness at the incident, her friend Jada, says the whole thing was hard to process as it was happening.
I was very in shock. It was like my body was not able to move. It's like if I couldn't blink or anything.
Jada's mother Mary says this type of response is normal for the district, telling me Jada experienced something similar years ago.
She went through, her 7th grade year. And we stick behind them because we had to deal with the school and they did nothing.
Now the family is calling for changes at the highest level.
Superintendent Ms. Lyons and Principal Hinkie, they need to be let go. We need somebody in that actually cares about these kids.
They have concerns about student safety, saying potential personal bias could impact school leadership's position in this case and in others like it.
They don't care about none of our kids. I mean, if you're, like he said, if you're not white and you're not in their clique and you're not their favorites, you're not going to count. And I don't think that's fair.
For now, the family plans on continuing to push their grievance to the administration.
If they get so many grievances, I'm pretty sure TEA will come down, because that is going to be our next step. We are going to contact TEA about the situation.
They hope something can be done, but at this point, the damage has already been done to Trinity and to the family's relationship with the district.
And if you ask me right now, do I trust them? No, I don't trust none of those school board members no more.
Trenton Whiting, KAVU TV, 25 News Now.
We have reached out to Goliad ISD to learn more about their response to the issue and their policies for similar incidents. We have yet to hear back. New developments tonight in the case against a former Ezell ISD principal accused of stealing funeral funds.
25 News Now weekend anchor Amaya Norman joins us with the latest after Jody Thompson appeared in court yesterday.
The former Ezell ISD principal is accused of stealing money from a grieving family, and she's now pleaded guilty. Court records show Jody Mildred Thompson pleaded guilty to theft of property value at more than $2,500 but less than $30,000. After accepting the plea deal, she will be sentenced in February. An investigation launched in August after the death of 17-year-old Kobe Kremling, who was killed in a construction accident back in February. Investigators say Thompson organized a GoFundMe page shortly after Kobe's death, telling the Kremling family the donations will help cover funeral expenses. But months later, Lavaca County authorities say the family learned none of that money went towards the funeral. Instead, investigators accused Thompson of keeping the money for herself. Thompson will learn what happens next when she's sentenced in February. Shawna and Dawn, back to you.
The family of a man who died in the DeWitt County Jail is now suing in federal court. Their attorney says 34-year-old Trey Kaiser died in April 2024 after going the whole weekend without medical care, even though he clearly needed it. Deputies first took him to a hospital after his arrest, but staff never let him out of the patrol car for an evaluation and sent him straight to the jail. The attorney says jailers later raised concerns as Kaiser showed signs of drug withdrawal, but no one called for help until they found him unresponsive on Sunday. The jail did not have a nurse on duty that weekend. The attorney calls his death inexcusable and says Texas jails need to take medical issues seriously. A Matagorda County murder case is pushed back again.
25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley reports from the Matagorda County Courthouse with the latest on what this means for the case against Fernando Acosta Jr.
Fernando Acosta Jr.'s case has been delayed over 10 times since his indictment. Earlier today, a status conference was set for Acosta Jr., but was reset to a later date for pretrial motions and a trial management hearing. An indictment was filed for Acosta Jr. on June 21st of 2021 for the murder of Amanda Johnson. Her remains were found in a burned SUV in Matagorda County. Johnson was found in midfield by Texas Rangers and the state fire marshal's office. Amanda Johnson had a gunshot wound to the head. Amanda Johnson was a single mother of two. She previously worked in the health club and was a Victoria ISD teacher. She was just 38 years old. A status conference has been set for Wednesday, April 1st, 2026 at 9 a.m. Reported in Matagorda County, Ray Mosley, KAVU TV, 25 News Now.
A homicide suspect in El Salvador who was arrested in Lavaca County is now in ICE custody. The Lavaca County Sheriff's Office say Juan Alvarez had an outstanding warrant for the homicide when he was arrested by deputies last month. Also last month, Lavaca County officials say deputies also arrested a Cuban national and a Mexican national found to be here illegally. They are facing federal prosecution on possession of a firearm and fraudulent use of identifying documentation charges. Texas DPS troopers stopped a Freightliner tractor on Interstate 35 in LaSalle County in South Texas over the weekend. The driver, 24-year-old John Amaya of Laredo, was operating without a license. With help from a Border Patrol canine, the trooper discovered 23 people here illegally packed into the vehicle's sleeping area. Amaya was arrested and charged with 23 counts of smuggling of persons. The people in the truck from Nicaragua, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, and Mexico were turned over to U.S. Border Patrol.
Here are some of the top headlines this week in the Port Lavaca Wave. A local resident is on a mission to bring back Scout BSA Troop 243 to Calhoun County. And local oyster fishermen are facing a difficult market this winter due to an abundance of oysters coming in from other markets. To read these stories and more, go to portlavacawave.com.
For the first time since 2022, Texas did not have a hurricane, tropical storm, or tropical depression make landfall. Yay. Now about this cold and wet stuff.
Yeah, we're well past tropical storm season or hurricane season, but
ended last Sunday. We're very happy about that.
It's not the heavy rain, but it is still coming down out there.
Well, it's going to get heavier. That's the thing. Today we begin with sort of the light little rain that you saw today. Tomorrow it'll be a little bit more of a downpour. We got a Doppler image to show you all of the rain that is occurring. It's that frontal system up north that's going to dive down and enhance the rain opportunities. So a pretty sloppy Thursday coming up. We'll be talking more about it coming up in just a few minutes.
And the Wharton County burn ban is over. Jackson County judges ended the ban this week. The ban started on September 18th. Wharton County officials say if you must burn, use caution and do not burn during windy conditions. Wharton joins Victoria, Goliad, and Jackson counties ending their burn bans this week.
Crossroads High School students competed in a welding competition hosted by Formosa Plastics in Point Comfort. 41 students from Bloomington, Calhoun, Edna, Industrial, Palacios, Victoria East, and Victoria West high schools competed in 2 contests, the vertical groove weld and a pipe groove weld, which that one was unknown to participants beforehand. The competition gives students a chance to test their skills and show what they can do in a growing trade.
We started in 2019 doing this. Unfortunately, COVID slowed us down. We had a period where we didn't do it for a few years, but now we've started again and really enjoy doing this for our area.
And the first place finishers are Isaiah Perez from Bloomington High School and Edna High School's Brant Peters. You can find the full list of other top welders on crossroadstoday.com. Formosa Plastics contractors judged the competition while also scouting the participants for maybe some possible future employment opportunities at the site. Well, if you see news happening, give us a call in our newsroom at 361-576-0026, or you can send us an email to staff@crossroadstoday.com.
Congressman Michael Cloud honored one of Victoria's most beloved figures on the House floor, Brother Gary Moses. Congressman Cloud calls him a true example of Texas spirit, faith, family, and community. For over 50 years, Brother Gary's been the heart of the Crossroads region, especially in Victoria, teaching at Patty Welder Middle School, voicing radio shows on Magic 95.9, and bringing joy to community events like the Christmas Parade and Toys for Tots. At 73, he's still showing up with energy and a smile, reminding Victorians that they're all family.
And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, a South Texas congressman facing federal charges gets unexpected news from President Trump.
Also ahead, a simple group chat becomes a national security concern. How Defense Secretary Hegseth finds himself at the center of a Pentagon investigation. President Trump today pardoned a South Texas Democrat congressman. He's issuing a full and unconditional pardon to Congressman Henry Cuellar and his wife Imelda, who were facing conspiracy and bribery charges. In 2024, Cuellar and his wife were charged with accepting nearly $600,000 in bribes from 2 foreign entities. He still was reelected. Moments after he was pardoned, Congressman Cuellar filed to run for re-election next year. He thanked President Trump for pardoning him.
House Democrats have released new photos and videos from Jeffrey Epstein's private Caribbean island. Images they say have never been public before. The material shows bedrooms, bathrooms, a room with a dentist-style chair, and masks on the wall. plus video of the lush grounds, pool, and ocean views on Little St. James. The release comes shortly after President Trump signed a bill requiring the Justice Department to disclose its Epstein documents, a highly anticipated drop expected within days. Epstein died 6 years ago while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. Well, a Pentagon watchdog report on Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's use of a commercial messaging app is dropping tomorrow. Sources say it raises some big questions about his communications.
ABC's Christiane Cordero has what we're learning from Washington.
Today, a Pentagon watchdog concluded that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth risked endangering U.S. troops by exposing sensitive information in a group chat on Signal earlier this year, according to two sources familiar with the group's now completed report. The Defense Department's Inspector General concluded the information Hegseth put in the chat was properly classified by U.S. Central Command before he shared it with his colleague's wife and inadvertently a reporter from The Atlantic who was accidentally added to the chat. The conversation revolved around the U.S. attack on the Iranian-backed Houthis in Yemen in March of this year. Hegseth immediately denied the chat shared any war plans.
Nobody's texting war plans. I know exactly what I'm doing, exactly what we're directing, and I'm really proud of what we accomplished. The successful missions that night and going forward.
In the backlash, then National Security Advisor Mike Waltz was moved to a new role as UN ambassador after it was determined he added the reporter from The Atlantic magazine to the chat by mistake. He was the only administration official to face any consequences. On the Inspector General's report, sources tell ABC News Hegseth refused to sit down for an interview as part of the investigation, but told the IG in a statement he insists that because he has the power to classify and declassify information, he acted within his rights. The report may add pressure on Hegseth, who's already facing scrutiny over a second strike that killed suspected drug smugglers off the coast of Venezuela in September, which some legal experts say could be a war crime. The admiral overseeing that operation is set to speak with lawmakers behind closed doors tomorrow. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
To get more news, weather, and sports, come to our website, crossroadstoday.com.
Here's some of the headlines in the Currie Record. DeWitt County will install no truck signs on 3 county roads after several 18-wheelers got wedged or stranded at railroad crossings. And in the chaos of a house fire, Yorktown volunteer firefighters saved 5 puppies. To read these stories and more, visit DeWittCountyToday.com.
Well, it's been sort of light rain to drizzle pretty much all day long. It's pretty sloppy out there, so do drive carefully. But the temperature actually warmed up to 60 degrees. Tomorrow, the temperature is going to be diving down as a strong north wind is going to be coming in. Our morning low at 41. The temperatures are going to be topsy-turvy because the north wind tomorrow will also bring us some stronger showers, maybe some heavy rain. We'll talk about that coming up in a moment. Well, good evening, everybody. Yes, the light rain has been pretty steady. In fact, it's pretty sloppy out there. Do drive carefully. You know, this is the slipperiest time of the day. I mean, here's what happens. When the rain is light, but really not strong enough to wash everything off the roadways, all the oil that was developing and collecting on the roadways starts to float. That's when it's actually slippery, more slippery on your car. So, you know, taking a corner or stopping behind somebody, you just need to give yourself a little bit of time. You can see in this Doppler image the light rain activity, and you'll also notice this. Yesterday it was offshore wind. Now it's an onshore wind. So as that Gulf air moves back on to the cooler land surface as opposed to the water, we're getting the light rain over the area. Now up here toward, well, Brazoria County, Matagorda County, a little bit heavier stuff as you can see right about there. But tomorrow, when this frontal system starts approaching our area, we're going to pick up a gusty north wind and the rain will become a little bit heavier. We may have, you know, some real downpours coming in as they develop more on an isolated, spotty kind of area. You know, this rain is pretty even. Tomorrow it'll be a thunder showery as that cooler air starts rolling in. And you want to talk cooler air? For those of you who know Santa Fe, New Mexico, you ever been there? Beautiful little town. Right about here, just turned 31 degrees, so they're reporting that rain turning to snow flurries. So it must be very lovely up there right about now, but of course treacherous. That cold air is going to be filtering into the panhandle, and while we're dealing with, you know, the rain, well, oh, by the way, you know, our good friend Max, who does the sports around here, or the sports poobah as we call him, was visiting home in Ohio, and you can see what it looks like in his backyard. So it looks very pretty there. Hopefully they're not having to assign him the task of getting the shovel out and start doing the sidewalks. Well, I wanted to show you these temperatures. Pardon me. We, of course, are in the 60s and 50s for us here in South Texas, so we're doing okay, but it's rain. But you can see how freezing starts showing up over much of the northern half of the country, and then here it is. The first below zero temperatures of the season have just shown up in the upper Midwest. That's for tonight. And we go forward into tomorrow, and you can see how they're going to be below freezing all the way down, possibly even to the Chicago area, which will be in the single digits. So those of you that may have family or flying around or having business, you consider, yes, it's certainly feeling like December out there in the Midwest. All right, for us, this is our Doppler image. You can see how we've had the light rain over the area, but there's one little thunder shower within the hour that's developing south of us. It's coming up through Calhoun County, right about there. Also in Palacios and in Matagorda County, that's where the heaviest activity occurred. They're even getting a little thunder and lightning right about there whenever you see those little white flashes. So here's tomorrow. Light rain. Couple of heavier thunder showers at the coast, snow developing in the panhandle. That'll go on through most of Thursday and on into Friday before it finally clears out of here. So tomorrow, another wet day over the crossroads with a high of about 60 degrees somewhere in the early morning hours. And then the gusty north winds will pick up, and so it'll feel a little colder out there with a high of 53 and a north wind at 20. So we've got sloppy weather with heavy rainfall on Thursday and Friday. Then it clears up just in time for Saturday and Sunday when we start seeing a little sun and get back up to the upper 60s. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone. And we'll toss it back to Shawna.
All right, thank you, Mac. Well, now we send it over to Max Williams. Welcome back from the snow and lots of great news in athletics.
Yeah, you know, it feels a little bit nice, Shawna, to be back, right? You know, not in the snow and the cold, a little bit, still a little rain in 46. Not too great either, though, here in the good state of Texas. But today, though, we had some top signings, though, in the Crossroads. And after the break, we're going to hear from two of the top signees from Victoria West. That's next in sports. It was National Signing Day across the entire U.S. and yesterday, weekend sport taker Ray Robinson, he highlighted Ganeto's Sailor Burrs and Goliad's Deidre Anderson as some top signees to watch out for. And they actually signed today as well. But over at West High School, there were 3 top signings in volleyball with star Bella Bazell, softball star pitcher Isabel Medina signing both to Concordia University there in Texas. And then shout out to West dancer and Ambry Romnowski, they're signed there to Blinn College. So earlier today, I had a chance to talk with Bazell and Medina about how they felt putting that pen to paper.
I was very nervous and I didn't realize that it actually happened. And now coming here and signing, I'm very excited, but still very nervous. But I think it's a good opportunity to go and finish my career, and I get to do something I love.
I was nervous all day, but knowing that I do get to put that pen to the paper, I'm excited to get to know my team and just be a part of Concordia volleyball, indoor and outdoor.
Now you saw Bazell and Medina are excited to compete there at the next level, and they're going to be ready there especially for Medina, because she's still got to pitch for one more year for the Warriors in this upcoming spring of 2026. Now also Howitzel Sacred Heart had some 2 softball players that signed to the next level. First with Avery Beach, who signed with St. Mary's in San Antonio, and Beach was a 4-year all-state starter there for Sacred Heart, and she was also part of 2-time state champions as well there in the softball area. And then she also does compete in state 2 for golf and tennis, so she's all around there for Avery. And then Riley Diorsky there committed there to LSU Nice, where she played volleyball and softball and also took part there, member for National Honor Society, and then also there for Tennis for Life organization. So congrats to both of them for committing to the next level. Now over to St. Joseph football, where today they announced their all-district awards there from this past season. Some of the top first-team honors went to defensive lineman Nick Bladeau, and then running back Aiden Hamilton and quarterback Jace Vasquez and wide receiver Charlie Stefka. They were all there part of the first-team honors. Then for second-team all-district, defensive back Brady Parker and running back Bruce Bayarna and offensive lineman Jackson Pogue were also named there for second team, and then honorable mentions were wide receiver there Alex Donner and defensive back Cooper Moss. So congrats to some of these names. But if you want to see the full list, just head over there to crossfieldtoday.com/sports for the full their list of names. And also Shawna Volleyball also announced their reveal for all district awards. They made it all the way to the state semifinals before they lost there to the Iola Bulldogs. And some of the big time awards to keep an eye on there were Setter of the Year was named to Paisley Wallace, Defensive Specialist of the Year went to Kylan Ramirez, and then first team all district there went to Lexi Bonner, Taylor Cosen, and then Harley Sevzik. So you want to see, again, just like St. Joseph football, you want to see the full list, just go to crossfieldtoday.com/sports. And that's going to do it here in sports. Don, Shawna, back to you.
Thank you, Max. We're back in a moment. Maybe this was a product of a bad romance. Maybe she was born this way. Find out as we show you on the video. There she is, the newest sculpture in Las Vegas.